The only thing that she did wrong at the day and time was drive a vehicle
with cocaine, alcohol in her system, beer in the car at a .20. If I remember correctly, this is a DWI, and there's a fatality as a result.
Okay, hold up, DWI, cocaine, alcohol, and someone's dead. Yeah, this case isn't just another holiday fender bender. But here's the legal twist. Even with all that in her system, they're not charging her with intoxication manslaughter. Why? Let's dig into that.
Yes, sir.
Can you please read to me what happened?
Yes, sir. This crash happened back on December 24th of last year. Officers were advised of a four-vehicle crash at 5:37 a.m. on the 6300 block of I-45 South here in Harris County. Investigators observed massive damage on a Chrysler, indicating a head-on impact, massive force damage on a Mitsubishi, indicating a T-bone impact to the driver's side. Officers spoke with a HFD firefighter who was on his way to work and observed the Chrysler strike the Mitsubishi. The Chrysler cut in front of him, causing...
Question for the viewers: what do you think matters more in court? What's in your system, or who caused the crash? The answer might surprise you, because legally, it's all about causation. Without it, even the worst cocktail of drugs might not equal a manslaughter charge.
...him to swerve to the right and hit an Amazon truck. He states that this defendant was the driver and sole occupant of the Chrysler, and the driver of the Amazon truck confirms the wheel witness's story and stated that he clipped the Chrysler as he was coming to a stop. The complainant was taken to the hospital where she was pronounced deceased. Officers observed an unopened beer can in the driver's seat of the Chrysler. This defendant stated that she was the driver and that she struck the vehicle. They observed a strong odor of alcohol on her breath, red glassy eyes, and slurred speech. She was transported to the hospital, and a DRE arrived, and she was Mirandized and she waived her rights. She stated that an SUV was stopped in a lane and she tried to swerve to avoid hitting it and then crashed into the other vehicle. She admitted to consuming 4 to 5 12-ounce twisted teas and smoking marijuana.
And alcohol in the car while she's driving.
Yes, sir. SFSTs were done. She scored 6 out of 6 on the HGN. She did not have vertical gaze nystagmus, and officers...
There's a dead body in this case. That's the moment the courtroom chills. The judge is clearly not buying the soft sentence. And honestly, can you blame him? Imagine hearing that and still thinking 7 days in jail is justice.
Observed a lack of convergence. They were not able to do the walk and turn and one leg stand due to her injuries of a broken arm and sternum. There was a blood warrant and residual search warrant that were done, and her blood, Your Honor, came back at a .025 for ethanol, and she had... Yes, 0.25, yes, sir. And then she had marijuana and cocaine in her system.
And what's the offer you have worked out?
We worked out an 18-month probation offer with 7 days as a condition, Your Honor.
That's not the fact that there's a dead body in this case. Why is it not an intoxication?
It's a causation issue, Judge. We looked at it for an upgrade, is my understanding, because the other vehicle was on the roadway. Legally speaking, there's a causation problem, Judge, so that's why we came to the agreement that we have the families on board.
I'm not sorry, I'm not going to take it. You have a dead body here. She has cocaine in the system. She's got booze in the car while she's driving, and a dead body. I'm not down with that. No, we're going to have to do something else, but I would be remiss a week in jail where we have a dead body. That's
yes, sir.
And to me, just because you're 9 months pregnant doesn't factor anywhere in my mind, Ms. Sanchez. Ma'am, look at me. While you're about to give life, you took...
Here's the gut punch. The defense argues the accident was unavoidable. But wait, if she's driving with cocaine and alcohol in her system, how unavoidable is anything? This is where legal strategy and moral outrage collide.
Someone else's life. I'm sorry. How many lives are now ruined because of this? Not only yours, how about everybody else? Every single day in Harris County, someone is maimed because of the DWI. It's sick that we lead the nation in fatalities. And I don't know why they can't prove causation to charge you with intoxication manslaughter. But to me, a week is insufficient. It's not enough.
Yes, sir.
So,
We'll go back to the drawing board and get
Go
a
back,
reset, Judge.
but-
Yes, sir.
I'm ready to set this case for trial now. So unless we can work something out today, I'm set, it gets set today.
Yes, sir. All right, thank you, Judge.
Your Honor, I understand that a fatality did occur, but the reason why they weren't able to charge my client with intox manslaughter is because this accident was unavoidable. If you were
Unavoidable?
yes, sir. At the time of this accident, it was unavoidable. What ended up happening is that the deceased party spun out in front of her, and she was just going straight. The only thing that she did wrong at the day and time was drive a vehicle.
With cocaine, alcohol in her system, beer in the car at a .20. Let me ask you something. Have you ever done breath test? Have you ever blown into a breath test machine? Have you ever done those wet labs? You ever done that?
Your Honor. Okay.
I'm serious, really.
Okay.
Have you ever done it?
I'll go one further, Your Honor. Before being a defense attorney, I was a lieutenant with HPD.
Okay.
So I'm above and beyond. I spent 3 years doing accident division. So not only did I investigated these. So my knowledge is probably more superior than anybody in the room. I spent 3 years picking up dead bodies. And that is a true and factual statement I'm making before the court. So yes, sir, I have.
I did, as part of training when I was a defense lawyer,
This is the courtroom equivalent of a MIC drop. Is a dead body cruel and unusual punishment? The judge is torn between compassion for the unborn child and outrage over a lost life. These are the moments where justice doesn't come with a clean answer.
went to these classes where we took the breath test machines apart, did all kinds of experiments, did these drinking wet labs where you drink and then you blow into the machine. And the one time we did it, we downed a bunch of booze and I blew into the machine and I was lit, right? And I blew a 14 and I was lit, man. And all I did was I blew a 14, right? 0.14. She's at a 0.2.
0.025, Judge. 0.025.
0.02.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I thought you said 0.20.
No, sir, no, it's 0.025 with the cocaine and THC.
No, so she's not 3 times or 4 times over the legal limit, Your Honor.
We were discussing about Ms. Sanchez. We were discussing when for you to do your jail time. Should we have you do it immediately to where you have the baby in jail? Is that cruel and unusual punishment? But then again, is a dead body cruel and unusual punishment? What's fair? What's not fair? I don't know. All I know is that you're charged with DWI. There's a dead body, but they just can't prove causation, and that's why you're not charged with manslaughter. But the fact remains is that we have a dead body. How do we reconcile that? You're pregnant now, and I truly hope that you've treated your body well throughout that pregnancy. Because if you haven't, and you've used anything.
So let's recap. An 18-month probation deal, jail time delayed until after childbirth, and court-ordered sobriety. But here's a question for you. Does this sentence deliver justice, or just delay it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.